think tank time. Try and say that 5 times fast. Think tank time, think tank time, think tank time, think tank time, think tank time. Whew, that was hard. We'll be having twice the amount of fun with twice the amount of tanks. I want to introduce ourselves. Hi, my name is Charlie.
And I'm Myra, and we are located in Arcata, California.
And I'm Cynthia. I'm located in Grass Valley, California. Just like you, we'll be joining from all over California to share our experiences.
Very exciting day. We're going to be taking a look at the natural habitat and the tank habitat for our fish. After that, we're going to take a look at the different parts of the tank, and you'll discover your very own Think Tank journal. Throughout this series of videos, you'll come to understand that in nature and our lives, there are things that we can and can't control. So for think, we're going to point to our brain. For tank, we're going to make a tank with our hands. And for time, we're going to point to our watch. So let's do it all together now. Think, tank, time. One more time. Think, tank, time. All right, let's get started.
We're going to be using a journal to track our thoughts, observations, and data. My notebook looks like this. But yours doesn't have to look like mine. You can either buy one, make one with paper, or use your electronic device. On your journal, write your name, your grade level, and tell us what you're most excited about Think Tank time. Be sure to pause this video if you need more time.
Hey y'all, can you hear me okay? Right on! Hi friends at home, it's Myra, and I'm out in the field today. I'm alongside a local river. When our trout are ready, we will return them to their natural habitat in a stream like this one here. I'll show you our tank in just a bit, but first, I want to talk about an important factor in the survival of trout: water temperature. Today, I'm out here in the middle of March, and as you can see, it's an overcast day in northern coastal California. But if we use our imagination, we could picture how this place would transform throughout the year. If you and I came back to this exact location in the peak of summer or in the middle of winter, this place would look very different. What do you expect to find? Write some thoughts in your journal. The temperature of the water is very important for the survival of trout, whether it's out here in nature or in our classrooms. But let's head back to the tank where I can tell you more. Why don't we snap our fingers 3 times to help me get over? 1, 2, 3. Welcome to our tank. Now let's take a look at our fish's home. In our tank, there are 2 important parts: gravel and water. This is the same in the natural environment, in a river or a stream. What would you consider an important part of your life, of your home? Draw this into your journal. Those are some great drawings. Good work! We're back in the natural habitat of steelhead trout. And in this river, our trout friends have to find cold pockets of water that are deep and have gravel so they can lay and bury their eggs. Once the eggs have hatched, the rocks that can be found in this freshwater stream help our friends hide from predators. But we don't have any predators in our tank. So as you can see, we bought colorful gravel to help you spot our eggs and our fish once they hatch.
Now that we've talked about the gravel, let's talk about the other important part of the tank, water. The chiller controls the water temperature of the tank. Your home has a similar machine. It's much bigger because your home is much bigger. Maybe you've noticed it. It's a big box that sometimes sits on the rooftop and sometimes it sits in the backyard. That box keeps the air in your home cool, just like this one keeps the water in the fish tank cool. This machine, right here, it keeps the water cool and it keeps it just like the fish like it.
Thank you for showing us your tank, Cynthia, and for teaching us about the chiller. Friends, what do you think controls temperature out here in nature? Write down some thoughts and ideas in your journal. The shade from the trees, the presence of snow, rain, or hail, the heat from the sun, and the changing seasons, they all affect the temperature of this river here. Changes in temperature in nature are impacted by a lot of factors, but we can summarize it all into one word: climate. Hey Cynthia, I see that your tank has something ours doesn't. I think it's called insulation. Can you show us how it works?
It's like a sweater. When you and I are cold, we put on warm clothes to trap our body heat so that we're nice and cozy. Our fish don't have body heat to trap, but the chiller generates cold that we don't want it to escape, so we trap it with this sweater made out of insulation.
Today, we made our very own Think Tank journal. You saw our tank and you learned about some key parts of our tank that help make the conditions similar to the natural environment of steelhead trout. We also thought about some important parts of our lives, and we did some pretty cool drawings. Remember, we can control the temperature of our homes using air conditioning, and we can control the temperature of our tank using the chiller. But we cannot control temperature in nature. That is controlled by very many different factors. Do you remember writing some of these down in your journal? So, in nature and in our lives, there are things that we can and can't control. Next time, we're bringing you an egg-sighting interview with a trout egg. Thank you for joining Think Tank Time, and see you next time.